There are some women who always seem to get what they want, and there are others that don't. So why is that? What is the differentiating factor here that separates these two types of women? That's what we're talking about today. Hey friends, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jillz and I help women step into their power and become their best selves. So if that's something you want to do, you should absolutely subscribe and stick around. So today let's talk about the 6 habits of women who always seem to get what they want. You know, those types of women where things just end up working out for them. The women who are given what they want, the women who achieve what they want, the women whose lives just seem to go a little bit easier. Now, it doesn't mean they never struggle at all. It doesn't mean they never have hard moments, but these are the habits, mindsets, and behaviors that separate those who get what they want from those who don't, in their life, in their relationships, and in their goals and dreams. So it's obvious that you need to know what you want to get what you want, but I want to talk about this at a deeper level. One of the habits of a woman who gets what they want is that they know what their true wants are, and consequently, what doesn't matter. So a true want, what I call a true want, that's just the term that I use in my head, are wants and desires that we actually want, that actually means something to us, that's actually aligned with us. Because so many times we have wants that aren't actually our own, or we think we want something because everyone else wants it, so we think we should too, or because we think we're supposed to want it. For example, I think I should want that fancy car that everyone else wants, but in reality, I don't really care and it's not gonna make me that happy. The women who get what they want, they know what it is they actually want. They know their true wants, they focus on it, and they don't spend their precious time and energy trying to get things that they don't actually care for. Oftentimes these women, they get what they want because they're not trying to do everything. They're not trying to get everything. But they are super clear and super focused and super persistent on what they do want. It's this habit of clarity and focus that sets them apart, and just owning up to what they really want. Another defining aspect of women who get what they want is that they simply believe they will get it. When you believe you will get something, when you believe you are worthy of it, when you believe that you are deserving of it, when you believe that it will actually happen, you start thinking and behaving and acting differently. And this is what changes the game. A woman who expects a guy to treat her well will find a man that treats her well. A woman who expects to be wealthy in the future will be wealthy in the future, because there just is no other way. Do you expect to succeed? Do you expect to get what you want out of life? Not in a greedy way, but in a positive, self-assured way. There are so many people out there who expect to never get what they want. And so that's what happens. They never get what they want. They expect to be treated poorly in relationships. They expect to be living paycheck to paycheck. They expect that they will never get their dream home. They expect that they will always hate their job. And their disbelief in their desires cripples them. But once you do have that belief, everything changes. You start acting with so much more confidence, and the way that you show up in the world completely changes. And when you experience roadblocks or setbacks or have little failures, like everyone will at some point in their life, you're not as fazed by them because you know you are still going to get what you want at the end of the day. A woman who expects to be showered with love and attention and gifts from their boyfriend will get that, because the way that they show up in the world is different than the woman who does not expect that. A woman who expects to have a successful career will get that. A woman who expects to be wealthy will get that eventually. A woman who expects to be seen as beautiful will be seen as beautiful. But it's not necessarily their thoughts that are directly affecting what they get out of life. It's how they show up in the world from those thoughts. And so you might be like, oh, Jillz, that sounds a lot like manifestation, like law of attraction. If you believe it'll happen, then it'll happen. And that's because it is. But for the women who always seem to get what they want, it's not them consciously trying to manifest. It's just how their brain works. It's just second nature to them. They're not trying to consciously manifest anything. They're just going to get it. It's just how their life is going to work out. So to be that person who always gets what you want, it has to be second nature to you too. That deep belief and confidence in what you want needs to be there. Now let's talk about the massive importance of gratitude and appreciation, especially when it comes to being given things. Even when you're being given things, there is always some sort of exchange, even if it's energetic. When people give things, what makes them feel good about giving things is when they receive genuine appreciation and gratitude in return. So when you see those girls who always get what they want, especially like in relationships or those kind of circumstances, they know how to receive and appreciate what's being given to them. And guess what? That makes the masculine want to give more because it makes them feel good. If you give a friend a gift and they respond with like, oh, okay, you're not going to want to give them another gift. It's not going to feel good to you. But if you give a friend a gift and she's like, oh my goodness, this is so thoughtful. I love it. Thank you so much. If you can see that she's genuinely appreciative and grateful of your efforts, then you're going to be like, yeah, you're welcome. It's going to feel rewarding to you and you're going to think like, oh, I'm happy I did that. There are so many women who are just not very good at receiving, either because it makes them feel uncomfortable or they feel guilty about it for some reason or for whatever reason, but it makes you less likely to receive in the future because it doesn't feel that good to give to you. But this is actually the same too when you are achieving goals, fulfilling dreams, and like getting things yourself. When you are grateful for what you have and for what does come in, this puts you into the energy of receiving more. The more appreciative and grateful you are of what you have now, that open, loving energy allows for more things to come in. This puts you in the energy of abundance instead of being in the energy of lack. And being able to be in that abundant receiving energy, even when you haven't really received anything yet, is a big deal. Another very important habit of women who get what they want, and it seems so simple because it is, yet it's something that so many women do not do, is that they have no shame or hesitation in asking for what they want and communicating what they want. There's no guilt there or embarrassment or people-pleasing mentality. They're just simply vocalizing their needs and desires. So many people just do not do this. They feel bad about it, or it makes them feel awkward or makes them uncomfortable. And I'm gonna keep this point short because it is so simple, but like, how are you gonna get your relationship needs met if you can't even vocalize to your partner what they are? How are you gonna get what you want out of life if you can't even speak up about what they are? No one can read your mind and no one can help you if you don't speak up. Now, of course, this needs to be done in a loving, confident way though, not in a greedy, selfish way. The energy really matters. Now, if you want to get what you want out of life, that means that you have to know what you don't want. And a powerful habit of a woman who gets what she wants is that she is able to let go of things that are not for her with confidence and ease. So for example, if you're dating someone, but you know that they don't match what you want in a future husband, but yet you keep dating them anyways because you're afraid you won't be able to do any better, you're afraid that you'll never get what you want, well, then that comes from a lot of fear. And it's a really valuable skill to be able to let go of things once we realize they aren't for us. Or another example, you realize you don't like your job or the industry you're in. That doesn't mean that you just get up and quit right that second, but instead of insisting that this is what you chose, work just sucks and you just need to learn to live with it, a woman who gets what she wants knows that she is worthy of a career that lights her up because remember, she expects it. So she starts exploring, she starts networking, she keeps that door open for the right opportunity because she knows it's gonna come. She starts mentally transitioning to something that she does want, something that suits her better. It's okay to let things go if they're not in alignment with what we want. And so often we hold on to things because we're afraid of what will happen if we don't. But when we hold on to things, that takes up space and it doesn't allow for something new to come in. It doesn't allow for the perfect man to walk through the door. It doesn't allow for the perfect job opportunity to be found. A woman who gets what she wants is able to let go when needed. And the reason for this is because she has a deep sense of trust within herself and with her desires. Another habit, and in my opinion, I think this is a very underrated one, is that these women are not always trying to control the specifics. So what I mean by this is that women who get what they want, you must think that they must be very much in charge. They must be demanding of their desires, but I don't really think that's the case. These women know what they want, absolutely, but are more flexible in how it comes, and they're not trying to control every part of the process. And I think this is what keeps a lot of women stuck. Not everything will come into your life the exact way that you see it in your head. Sometimes we receive things in unusual or unexpected ways, and sometimes we get what we want by taking a completely different road than what we first imagined. Sometimes we receive things we always wanted, but in ways we never expect. And to be open to these different possibilities, you have to be flexible and open to how things show up in your life. You need to soften. You need to let go of micromanaging. You need to trust. You need to have confidence. You need to relax. If you're too much of a stickler about how your desires show up in your life, then it really blocks that flow of receiving in abundance. A lot of things that I have gotten in my life, things that I have wanted, have come in unexpected ways. And many of these things were actually triggered by stressful or negative events, meaning when I thought that things were going poorly, it was actually things working out for me. These women who get what they want, yes, they are persistent about the bigger picture and about their desires at a high level, but they're able to have that flexibility and openness to how these things come into their life. And you might need to soften and relax into your feminine energy to do this. So with that said, I highly recommend you go check out this video, how to be a softer woman without losing who you are. You don't have to change your whole personality to be a softer woman. So I will see you over there, or I will just see you in my next video. Bye.